Hazard, Kentucky. Good morning, Perry County. Good morning, Eastern Kentucky. Today is April 21st, 2026. We did not have a 420 show yesterday. We did not. And I know some people out there. Are well aware of what 420 is. No, I do not smoke. I do not take part of the ganja. Matter of fact, I did not. My entire, I didn't start drinking until I was 34. 34, yeah, when my first wife decided she was going to leave, I didn't start drinking until that point. And so I've never really used drugs. I've smoked marijuana a few times. Don't like it. I'm 56 now, and I still don't like, I don't use drugs. I used DMT a few years ago, and I liked it, but I used it because of Sturgill Simpson, that Turtles All the Way Down song. Man, I like Sturgill Simpson. Good Kentucky boy there. Anyway, my name is Brett Johnson, for those who don't know. For those who do, good morning to you. And this show is the Brett Johnson Show. We talk about corruption. We talk about fraud. We talk about being a better human being, about overcoming hypocrisy, about child predators. This is a show about doing the right damn thing, is what this is. I apologize for being, I'll look at the comments in a second, guys. I apologize for being not as available as I have been for the past few days. And the reason for that is relationship problems on my end, right? And I apologize for that. I truly do. That needed to be taken care of, and it's being addressed. So please forgive me for that. I'm hoping that we're back on track now and can roast some asses and do some good and continue being, we are the voice of Eastern Kentucky. That is exactly what we are. We are the voice. We are the platform that gives the voice to people who have been voiceless for a very long time. We absolutely use colorful language. We absolutely do not hold back. Truth does not care about your feelings. That is a fact. Truth does not care if you don't want to hear it. It just doesn't care. The truth exists outside of all of that. So this is the Brett Johnson Show. Today we've got some stuff to talk about. I'm going to look at the comments, and we're going to go from there and see how the day goes. All right, so Tina Smith, good morning. Cajun Green Man, good morning. I hope you're doing all right. Yes, Cajun Green Man, comments are appearing on screen. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. Loretta Combs, good morning to you and Pookie. We missed seeing you yesterday. I apologize about that. I had to help my, I'm seeing this person. I got divorced and, trying to carry on with my life and seeing this person. There's some relationship, not with me and her, but with her family. They found out, hey, Brett Johnson is a convicted felon. And that is the only thing that they are concentrating on, is that. And, I've said, I own my past. I absolutely was not a good guy. Absolutely was not. But the work I do now is, I think the work I do now is outstanding. I truly do. I'm very proud of the work that I do. And I was, I said, hey, I can deliver you 300 references, of Secret Service officers, of FBI agents, of CEOs, politicians. I can even deliver you references of people that hate me, and you can see how bad they were. And we got some justice against these people. And you can read my interviews, you can do all this other stuff, and hopefully they'll come to terms with that. I don't know. As I was telling her, any relationship that we have is outside of that. My relationship with your family is only through you if we get to that point. So that's the issues that have been going on the past few days. So please forgive me, truly. But I've been concentrated on that. And that's where a lot of my thought processes have been. So I apologize about that. All right. So Teresa Lemaster, good morning. Brenda Hayes, good morning, Brett and Pookie. Wow, looks like someone's trying to mirror their own guilt onto Brett. Shake my head. Wow, no shame on Brett, although the shame is on you. So what on earth? Mirror their own. Brenda, you'll have to tell me what you mean by that. I don't see anything in the comments here, so please let me know. Okay. Blue Dodger, let's kick the tires and light the fires. Good morning, Brett, Pookie, and everyone. Defense Rest, a nice little ditty I can hum to is in order. Bang! Blue Dodger, I'm up by at least 5 a.m. every morning. Good Lord, is the sun even shining at 5 a.m.? I don't know. Brett, I appreciate you standing up. This is Tanya Gabe, and good morning. Good morning, Loretta Sloan as well. Brett, I appreciate you standing up and being a voice for those who can't or won't speak for themselves. I greatly appreciate all you do. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. Donna Campbell, good morning. Hazard Fart Boxing 2026. No Brett. Yeah, we got some Brett today. Come on now. All right. Hello, Brett and Pookie. This is Tudor Short. Hello, Brett and Pookie. I hope everyone is having a great day. I'm from Letcher County. Well, hello over there, Letcher County. Good morning, Knott County. Leslie. Perry, I've already said. Clay. All right. Good morning. I'm having a delicious Krispy Kreme strawberry glazed donut. Now, I got to tell you, it's pretty good. Michelle Combs, trying to watch, can't get you on. I have no idea, Michelle. So if you can't watch, it's on YouTube. It's on LinkedIn as well. Okay? All right. Donnie Johnson, good morning, Brett. And Pookie and Sheriff Pookie. Sheriff, they are still looking to elect you. And we are kept. I don't know if I'll be able to bring Pookie with me at the last of this month. I don't. So just bear that in mind. If I may have to, it's a long drive, so I don't know if Sheriff Pookie will be able to come, but I know he wants to see and have, get up there and give his political speech so that the people of Perry County can understand that Sheriff, candidate for Sheriff Pookie is absolutely the best candidate that anyone could possibly want in office. Sheriff Pookie is absolutely, where you at, Pookie? I think Pookie's over there under a blanket. Sheriff Pookie likes to stay warm and cuddled. He had his breakfast this morning, some rotisserie chicken. And, now he's just like, I think I'll rest for a minute before I get up and, enforce the law in this house you've got. I'm like, all right, son. It was Hubble Hoskins, a male. Yeah, we're going to talk about Mr. Hoskins and the overdose at Kentucky Regional River Jail, Kentucky River Regional Jail, whatever that is, the Perry County Jail. We're going to talk about that very shortly. All right. It was a guy, Hubble Hoskins. He overdosed and died. So there's some comments about, we're going to talk about that here very shortly. Natasha Maggart, good morning. God bless you, Brett Johnson. Natasha, you are an outstanding human being. You truly are. Good morning. God bless you, Brett Johnson. You've already been vindicated. Who cares what they still believe of you? We love you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm not, I am by no means a perfect human being. By no means. I am, I believe in this idea of doing the right damn thing. I truly do. Sometimes I'm able to do that, and sometimes it fails. But I always have that thought in my mind of just do the right damn thing. I talk to people about that all the time of, we have a choice of how we are going to live our lives. If you've been doing something bad, something wrong, it is never too late. It is never too late to change that, to take the steps to change that. Christianity, I've got this Bible here. I've got this Bible, and I was going to pull out some verses this morning. I just didn't. I didn't have time. I've said before that this Bible, to me, and I think the Bible says different things to different people. I think it addresses whatever issues that you are having at that point in time in your life. You know, what's most important to you? Is it family? Is it children? Is it success? I mean, what's most important to you? And through this book, we find out that what's most important is it's not material things. It's not. You know, I've said before, we enter this world naked and a dumbass, and we leave this world naked and a dumbass. So it's not material goods. And you know, I spent time in prison. I can tell you, you know, you find out pretty quickly material goods don't matter. You find out relationships matter. And then when you start reading, and actually incorporating this book into your lives, you find out that, well, yes, relationships absolutely matter. But there's a relationship higher than that matters as well. It's something that we should aspire toward. And because we are not perfect human beings, we are fallible. You know, it's very hard. We should always aspire to that, but we should always understand that as much as we want to reach that, we are not perfect. We are fallible. And because we're trying to get to something that is perfect and is infallible, it's not going to happen. You have to have that grace coming through, that unearned favor. And I believe I've had that. I do. I believe I've had that. You know, to me, this book, I've said it, you know, I think it addresses the problems that you're really having. And to me, this book is about change. You know, God often picked people who were damaged, people who were considered less than the rest of society. You know, you look at Paul, and I keep talking about Paul. Paul changed his life. And if Paul can change his life, anyone can change. Paul said he was the worst of sinners. So if the worst of sinners can not only change his life, but can become a pillar of Christianity after that, anyone can do that. Anyone can do that. They just have to choose to do it. They just have to choose. They have to have the willpower, the strength, the courage to make that decision. I've got a lot of willpower. I do. I've got a lot of willpower. But I know that I am here today, and I believe I do a lot of good things. A lot of good things. I am not perfect. I believe I do a lot of good things, and I have a lot of people that absolutely believe in me, that I've inspired. I protect a lot of people. Eastern Kentucky, I love you guys. I truly love you guys. You are like family to me now. I believe I do a lot of good, and I believe that I'm a good person. I'm not a perfect person, but I'm trying. I'm always trying. I've always got that thought process in my head of just do the right damn thing. It's not just a sign off for a show. It's not just something that goes on the back of a t-shirt. It's not. It's just do the right damn thing. So just wanted to say that. Like excuse me, these donuts are good. So this person's mother evidently other than me being a convicted felon, this person's mother also evidently has some issues with some of the language that I have on the show. And told her, do you know he had two puppets acting like they were fucking each other. And my immediate thing was, that wasn't two puppets. That was one puppet. I wish I had two puppets. Shit, if I did have two puppets, I promise you that I would absolutely illustrate one puppet slamming it home to the other puppet. I promise you that. But I would not be doing that in an egregious manner. I would not. What I would be doing is talking about a corrupt prosecutor, Scott Blair, how he used his position of power to get people to give him methamphetamine and then fuck him in the ass. And I would have that one puppet slamming it home to the other puppet. That's exactly what I would do. Now, the reason I was showing those little clips about my use of humor. I'm using ChatGPT, and I love the pro version. I have no idea what the free version is like. I just skipped right over top of that crap, went straight to the pro. I like what it's doing. I'm trying to get it to help me with my business of speaking, this show, everything else. And I fed it all my a ton of my information, and it was spitting out what it was learning about me. It was saying, my use of humor, my use of language, of absurdity, of being vulgar at times is a necessity to who I am with what I do. It helps us talk about these extremely difficult things. That's what it helps us do. It helps us understand that. It helps us make laughing stocks of those people who would seek to victimize other people. That's what it does. No, this show is not meant for children. It's not. All right? We talk about adult things. But I will tell you that some of the stuff we talk about absolutely applies to children. And if you are a parent of a child, it might benefit you to listen to some of the shit we talked about. That's what I would say. And I'm flailing around a little bit because that's what I do sometimes. So that's what I would say. Puppet? Yeah, you're damn straight. You're damn straight I got puppets. Do I cuss? I certainly fucking hope so. Yeah. It's a choice. I don't do this all the time. I don't. You think I'm walking the streets using language like that? No, this language has a point. It has a point. It absolutely does. That it upsets you, I don't really care. I don't care. That, that bothers you and you're not brave enough to listen to the content or the message that's being conveyed is not my problem. It is your problem. That is a fact. That is a fact. I know what I do. I know what I've done, and I know where I'm going. All right? I know that I am not the guy that's going to claim that I am a Christian while I hide behind this book and do everything else other than a Christian should be doing. I know that. I know I'm not going to claim to be a Christian and never open the Bible. Instead, rely on an app to feed me a Bible verse every day, or rely on a preacher who's up there teaching a prosperity gospel instead of talking about what's actually in that book. That's what I know. I know if I'm going to try to understand and adhere to Christianity and try to have that relationship with God, that it's going to take me reading through, understanding, applying those ideas and concepts to my life, trying to apply those to my neighbors and my community's life, trying to do the right damn thing, and understanding still at the end of the day that it still takes the grace of God coming down. That's what I know. So no, I am not. People have told me, yeah, you're a Christian. No, I don't, I can't say I'm a Christian. I would not, to me, and I don't mind if somebody else says it. I don't. They say I'm a Christian. That's fine. That's fine. For me, I can't say that. To me, that tally comes up when I go up there. or when I'm wherever that meeting place is, where you get your final destination. Hey, you made it, or hey, whew, buddy, you ain't gonna need that leather coat. It gets kind of warm down there. You know, that's just me. That's just me. So my name is Brett Johnson, and I try, and I think we all try to be better human beings. We try to be better inside. We try to be better ourselves. We try to help our community, help our neighbor. Those ideas of the Bible, I talk about that all the time. Love thy neighbor as thyself. That's a huge thing. And you know, if you don't love yourself, I've said that before, it starts inside. It starts inside. Fix you. Fix you. Be able to admit that wherever you are in your life right now is because of your choices. It's because of your choices. It's not because of how you were raised. It's not because of the neighborhood you were born into. Yes, we have those things that go on, and that does define things to a certain degree. But within that realm, within that environment, it's your choices that determines where you are at that point in your life. If you're able to accept that, understand that, and be accountable for that, then you're able to look inside, admit what's wrong, what you don't like, what you want to change, and then work to change that. Or you can just wallow in self-pity. You just wallow in self-pity because it's comfortable. You just stay in that relationship because it's what you're used to. It's what you know. You can listen to all the bullshit from everybody else that says, oh, yeah, poor little you. Or you can get off your ass and do something about it. Love thy neighbor as thyself. It starts inside. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Another huge concept. Huge, very simple sentences, but huge concepts. We are not perfect. I like to think, I've said this toward recovery, toward an addict, and in my case, addicted to crime at one point in my life. I've said that recovery is never a straight line. You always backslide a little bit, but as long as you continue that forward progress is what matters. I like to think that this book is a little bit about recovery too. Let me get Sheriff Pookie up here. Come here, Pook. I like to think that book is a little bit about recovery too. That's what I like to think. I like to think that we're trying to recover and head back that way. But recovery is never a straight line. It always comes with a little backsliding. All right. But as long as we continue that forward momentum, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. That's what I'd like to think. And all that because Natasha Baggard showed some she showed some much needed kindness this morning. So thank you. Truly. Now, Sheriff Pookie, you have an extended belly because, you've eaten some chicken. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Are you doing okay this morning? Do you want to say hello to the electric? Huh? Say hello, people. Say, I'm Sheriff Pookie. Say, Sheriff Pookie, vote for me. Say, vote for me. That's exactly right, your buddy. That's exactly right. Yes, you're a good little puppy. You certainly are. You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Yes, you are. Okay, but can't do that yet. All right, I'm going to set you in my lap, okay? I got to continue with the show. All right. There's Sheriff Pookie. Sheriff Pookie's like, man, we're going to get in there. We're going to get in there. I know I'm small. Pookie goes, I know I'm small. I know I am. But I'm tenacious. I'm small, but I pack power. And if I can't get you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have me a whole slew of pit bull deputies. And them pit bull deputies, man, they're going to take a chunk out of your ass. That's what Sheriff Pookie says. So bear that in mind. Those corrupt people in Perry County, those corrupt individuals throughout Eastern Kentucky, your ass is getting chewed if Chef Pookie gets in office. Now, continuing right along, and Natasha again, truly, thank you. Ronald Gross, no, I don't need to call the jail and talk to some guys and find out, but the jail is trying to keep it hush-hush. And we're going to talk about that very shortly. I'm going to continue on through this because I need to get to the matters of the day. There was a message on your screen. It showed it before you signed on. Someone was mocking you. It didn't set well with me. That's why I said it. Brenda, I appreciate that. Truly, I have no idea what the message was. I was trying to get rid of it and everything. If someone would like to let me know what it was, I'd be happy to address it. Amber Nicole, none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. It's how we fix the wrong and make it a right. And you have came so far. Don't let anyone talk down on you. Doing the right damn thing. And that's all that matters. Thank you. Any updates on Sean Reisner? My understanding is that Sean Reisner is still missing. My understanding is that I don't think law enforcement is doing a proper job at all. I think that they should bring Lascivia Ritchie in with that gentleman that was also manufacturing meth and, evidently dealing heroin and all that kind of stuff. I think they should bring them in, set their little, addict asses down, let them start to dry out a bit from that heroin, get some DTs going, get some, discomfort going. And then, hey, your buddy down the hall here or your girl down the hall here said this. What do you got to say about that? Looks like you are going to serve a lot of time in prison. And you get them ratting on each other. This is not, and I've said this, evidently, law enforcement in that part or those few officers, they've evidently, not watched NYPD Blue. So, Tanya Cotto-Godsey, speaking of shirts, where do we get Brett Johnson Show t-shirts? Arnelia Bryan Williams was making some. We may be looking into coming up with some shirts as well. All right, so just bear that in mind. Yes, Cajun Green, man. That first quote on the screen was from ChatGPT summarizing Brett. Yeah, so I had 3 different things coming up just to show you those things again. This is what ChatGPT was saying. The humor is doing real work. It's not decoration. It's how you manage pressure, keep the audience with you, and stop heavy material from turning sterile or self-pitying. The jokes are dark. Yeah, of course they are. Self-deprecating, absurd. They tend to land right next to trauma, shame, prison, or institutional stupidity. You also say that directly. I have to be myself. I have to do the voices. I have to keep it fun, or it turns into a chore. It does. It does. This is a second little insight that ChatGPT said. It broke down every single thing that I do and have done for years. The humor is essential. It's not garnish. It's how I handle or how I carry pressure. A lot is vulgar. Yeah. It's theatrical, dark, absurd, but it almost always has a job. It has a job. It releases tension. It keeps the room with me. It humiliates hypocrisy. It keeps pain, that internal pain that I sometimes have. I mean, you saw it already this morning. It keeps it from turning sentimental. I don't wallow in it. I don't bask in that self-pity. I'm responsible for my actions as a human being. I'm responsible for what I did in my past, and I'm damn well responsible for what I'm doing right now and for what I will do in the future. It's no one else's to blame for that. It's my choices. It's my choices. The jokes can get grotesque, but they are usually sitting right beside prison, fraud, grief, institutional stupidity, or personal failure. That contrast is very Brett Johnson. And then the third humor insight, your humor is still one of the strongest identifying markers. It is not optional garnish. It is how you carry heat. You use self-mockery, vulgarity, sexual absurdity, grotesque detail, exaggerated comparisons, and sudden punchlines to keep serious material from becoming stiff or sentimental. The same humor lets you say ugly truths without turning into a lecturer. It also keeps my voice recognizably human. We are humans. We're humans. Even hot dog down a hallway, Scott Blair. And man, I don't like that dude. My thing is, I don't like hypocrites as it is. I don't. And sometimes in my life, I have been one. I don't like hypocrites at all. But when someone has a position of power and they use that position of power to victimize other people, that's a huge damn problem. I hate law enforcement officers who are corrupt, who steal drugs, who use their position to get out at Perry County Park and hit on some girls while his cop car is being stolen. You stupid son of a bitch, Chris Jones. You stupid ass motherfucker. Yeah, I don't like that. I hate politicians. You know, I've criticized, and the ChatGPT gave me an insight yesterday that I didn't even understand about myself, because I've made all these political posts about Donald Trump. I've made it about what's his face, Biden. Everyone. I'm an equal opportunity hater. I start my days watching CNN and Fox News so I can hate everybody in my morning. All right, but it made an insight that, hey, it's not that I'm political. It's just an extension of the problems that I have against hypocrisy, because most politicians are hypocrites. You know, you're taking a position and you're saying, I'm going to serve and protect. I'm going to make my electorate better, my community better, everyone better. And you're a fucking liar. Yeah, I have problems with that. I have problems with preachers. Hey, yeah, you. Yeah, hey, God bless you, little girl. God bless you. Hey, how about you let me squirt some salvation into your soul? Yeah, I have some problems with that. I absolutely do. When you have that position of power, when you're given that, or when you swear that oath to that position of power, that has a weight, a responsibility to it, and these some bitches ain't carried on with. They ain't. So yeah, I have issue with that. Damn straight I have issue with that. And we illustrate that by having humor, by having that puppet fuck somebody up the ass. Don't worry, it's a puppet penis. It won't hurt much. You won't feel it. Let's see if it even stays hard. I don't know how you'd keep a puppet penis hard. I guess you'd have to put your finger in the little penis slot and go like that. That's what I guess. Shit, I don't know. All right. Oh yeah, Michael fucking Clark. That's one of those preachers. This guy, I said that before, Michael Clark. This guy, I found God in prison. And you left him right there when you walked out the door, didn't you, son of a bitch? Yes, you did. Because you like to send those penis videos to people. You like to hit on women. You like to use your position of power. That position that you're hiding behind. You're hiding behind. That book right there, you're hiding behind it. Like Marion Estep, that other preacher. You're using that book to victimize people. If there is a hell, you, my friend, got that front office window. That's exactly right. Along with Marion, maybe you guys can preach to the congregation down there. All right, so even a child can understand 10 simple rules. 10. And it even breaks down further than that. Those 10 simple rules are encompassed in 2 simple sentences. Those 10 commandments, 2 sentences. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Gail Cornick, good morning. What have you done in your past? What you have done in your past? Okay. What you have done in your past does not define who you are. Today, we all love you and Pookie. Pookie, I think they love me because you is here. You are a great person, and you're our family now. I gotta tell you guys, you guys caused me to get choked up some today now. You caused me to get choked up some today. You really do. You always choose the path you go down at the end of the day. You always choose that. You always choose that. That's very true. That's very true. I had Wanda. We're going to talk more about those T-shirts. Right now it's Arnelia Brian Williams. I think Jordan was going to make some T-shirts as well. So I'll put that on my Facebook as well where you can get them, and we'll go from there. All right. I did an interview. I want to talk about this when we get the show started. Well, it's already started. I did an interview with the New York Post. The New York Post reached out to me. There was a sports writer who was defrauded on a romance scam. Now, the way I make my money is not through this show. We have now monetized for any son of a bitch out there that says, oh, he's just doing it for clicks. No, it's like $12 right now. So, but we've monetized because I'm hoping that what we're doing with this show, calling out corruption, calling out child predators, shining that light, giving a voice to the people who have not had voices, who have been beaten down by those in power. I hope that this show absolutely moves me into another career trajectory. All right. But the way I make my money is I protect businesses and consumers from that type of attacker that I used to be. I understand cybercrime, fraud, scams, identity theft, all that stuff better than anyone on the planet. That is a fact. That is not me bragging. That is not me just taking pride. There is no pride in victimizing people or stealing money. That is a fact. I just know it better than anyone. All right. So I use that knowledge. And now that I've been on the good guy side for well over a decade, I use that knowledge to help businesses and consumers protect themselves. So I talk about this stuff all the time. I advise companies. I speak at events. I travel the planet. I'm on TV shows. I do all this stuff, working on a book, all this other stuff. So New York Post reaches out to me. How would you say you need to protect yourself against romance scams? So I talk about, hey, it's important to understand in order for me to victimize you, I have to get you to trust me. If you don't trust me, you're not going to give me information, access, data, cash. So understand that. Trust online is because we trust these damn cell phones. Who the fuck would trust a cell phone? I'm sure I don't know, but we all do, including me. We trust these cell phones. We don't understand they can be manipulated. Criminals or attackers can use tools to spoof a phone number. You don't see the number they're calling from. You see the number of your bank or what have you. And then that opens a door of trust, and we see how good of a liar or manipulator that criminal or attacker is in manipulating you. Okay? And so I said that. And I said, hey, I understand that's important. So you need to be on your guard. Always. Trust, but verify. Don't believe everything you see or hear. Verify everything. But human beings, especially online, we're very bad about verifying anything. We run with it. Somebody posted it, so it's got to be true. It's true. It's not true. Oh, well, it sounded true. I'll run with that. In today's age of technology and AI, like ChatGPT, we get deep fakes. Now you can have a video of someone that looks exactly like your dad or your boss, and they'll tell you to do stuff. And yes, my boss, I guess I better do it. Or you get on one of these romance sites, and all of a sudden, now I got to be honest with you. All right. I myself have a face for radio, but if you're someone like ugly Scott Alexander, the Hunchback of Hazard, the Quasimodo of Perry County, if you're someone like him and you're on eHarmony, Plenty of Fish, Match.com, whatever that is, if you're on there, I would not expect someone like Scott Alexander to pull a big titty blonde with big thighs and she says, "Oh, buddy, I love your bug eyes and hunchback." I would not expect that to happen. So at some point, someone has to be realistic about their prospects. Just say it. All right. But people want to believe that stuff. They want to believe it. If you want to believe it as a criminal, as an attacker, it only takes the smallest excuse I can give you to allow you to believe that. So what I said at the end of the day, what it boils down to, and what I said in the article is, hey, end of the day, don't send money. How simple is that? How simple is that? Talk to whoever you want to. All right. Believe that big titty blonde is in love with you, Scott Alexander, Quasimodo. Believe that all you want to. But don't send the money. Don't send them money. That's what I said. Now, that's simply the truth. All right. That's what people are looking for. Most attackers online are looking for money. Don't send them money. That's easy. Now, there was a couple of people on LinkedIn. This is the reason I'm saying that this morning, because I don't have the Cybercrime 101 sign up. I'm going to launch that show later this week. I'm going to be busy launching shows. The other, Brett Johnson show with the rest of Eastern Kentucky, and then Cybercrime later this week too. A couple of people on LinkedIn said, oh, it's never as easy as telling them not to send money. Yes, it is. Watch. Don't send money. See how easy that is? 3 words. Don't send money. 4 syllables. 3 words, 4 syllables. That sounds pretty simple to me. I can make it even simpler. Don't send cash. 3 syllables, 3 words. I can make it simpler than that. No cash. I can make it even simpler than that. No. So I just wanted to comment on it, because I'll probably make this little bit right here a short to go on LinkedIn to ridicule those people who say, oh, it's never as simple as that. They believe that they believe what they're being told. I don't care if they believe what they're being told. I've been scammed myself too. But at the end of the day, if you follow that rule, no money, no cash for you. No habla dinero español. No, whatever the hell that means. No, not going to do it. All right. Just thought I'd throw that out there now. Pike Tussy 1, 2, 3. John 13:34. I like John a lot. I used to like John, number 1. Well, Jesus. Then John was number 2. And then Paul was way down the line. I did not like the Apostle Paul at all. All right. These days, it's JC, it's Jesus. And then it's Paul. And then John. I really like the Apostle Paul a lot. I really do. All right. And just to read that out loud. John 13:34, a new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. Yeah. See, these concepts are very simple. They're very simple. But we let pride, lust, envy, hatred, we let all these sins come into the mix. We put ourselves above our neighbors. We think we're better than someone because we have more money. We drive a better car. We speak better. We're a different color. We think we're better. We speak a different language. We think we're better. We're not. We're all the same. All flesh. Avatar lyric. I love that lyric. All flesh is equal when burned. All of it. I don't give a shit about where you're from, how much money you or your daddy's got, what kind of car you drive, what church you go to. Everyone is equal. Everyone. All right, I wanted to let me remove from studio. I'm taking these little ChatGPT signs down. That's exactly what I'm doing. Guys, I couldn't even believe it. I honestly, I could not believe it. But let's see where that file is. Let's see, ready, where that is. Let's open up the hazard folder. Yep, I got a hazard folder. And, oh my goodness gracious. Inside of that hazard folder. I found me a Ford Chevy and a Chrysler combined. I love running around with the top down all the time. But that right there, that son of a bitch right there, behind the mic, that son of a bitch right there is no other than ugly Scott Alexander. That is ugly Scott Alexander. That is the Hunchback of Hazard. That is the county judge executive right there. And what he is doing is he is entertaining. He is absolutely entertaining. Let's see what we got here. Oh, there we go. He is absolutely entertaining the people at the Broke Spoke. People with Broke Spoke. He's entertaining them with his impressive, and I do mean impressive. They are absolutely impressive. His singing ability. I have to be honest with you. I'm going to put it in my Dropbox later so you guys can listen to this. I have never, ever in my life heard anyone sing with such ability as the Hunchback of Hazard. I've not. It's amazing. It sounds like two cats fucking. That's what it sounds like. Scott, there's a reason that you never became a country music star. There's a reason. There's a reason you never went into show business. There's a reason. There's a reason that you decided to just rip off everyone in Perry County and hire 158 or 185 Hazard City employees, a lot of them at $50 an hour that don't do a damn thing. Got people with water company, you pay a pittance that do some shit. I don't get it. I don't get it. Where you think that you're able to sing anything, I'm sure I don't know. I think we need to have a GoFundMe so that we can get you some music lessons, or so that we can cut your tongue out of your mouth so that you can't try to sing anymore. Maybe at that point you just go, that sounds better than what you tried at the Broke Spoke. And I've got to be honest, I'm guessing that the more drunk the patrons at the Broke Spoke become, the better your musical singing sounds. Much like, the women get prettier at closing time. You may sound better at closing time. I know you sound much better when the mic is cut off. Just saying, just throwing that out there. The hat is on. The hat is on. The hat is on. Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff Girls. And the weird thing is, I get comments about this hat wherever I go. I go through an airport, TSAs, they look at me, they're like, man, I like that hat. I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah. Like, well, thank you. A lot of people like, who doesn't like it? This girl I'm dating. She don't like that hat at all. She's like, I'm going to throw that hat away. I was like, you throw it. I got two of the hats because I'm like, no. Leave my Powerpuff Girls hat alone. I like Buttercup. She could kick some ass. That Mojo Jojo come out there, she kick his ass all over the place. All over that cartoon, she kick his ass. I like Powerpuff Girls. I like the Powerpuff Girls. That's right, because the Powerpuff Girls are cool. You damn straight they are. You damn straight they are. Now, see, this is true. This is true. That's true. You get those, they call them beer goggles because, you. Man, yeah. Oh, man, you look awful good there, baby. You look really good. Say, would you like to come back to my place? So I'll go back to your place. I'll drive. And I'll show you the best 30 seconds of your life. I only liked about 2 inches of being born a woman, but it's the best 2 inches that you'll ever have in those, 30 seconds. And they go home and pass out. She don't even get the 2 inches. Goes home, passes out. Wakes up the next morning. And what does he see? That's what he sees. That's what he sees. So yeah, that 10 turns into a 2. Ugly Scott Alexander. That's you. But and just to show you what I'm talking about. Now look here. Look here. Here we got Donald Mobilini The mayor of Hazard. We got Donald Mobilini right here. He's got 3 boys there. Now, Donald, I'm not going to say anything, but Donald, and this is a public picture. I'm allowed to post this. All right. Now, Donald, we know the problems you have. I would ask that you stay away from children. Scott Alexander, we see him in the very, fashion forward cargo shorts. That's what we see him in. So appreciate that, Scott. We see that he's got his, his Hazard City or whatever that is, Nike polo tucked into his shorts. First fashion tip of the day, Quasimodo. Let that not get tucked in. Let's keep that out of the trousers, okay? Because what we see also is that you have paid too much attention and spent too much time singing at the Broke Spoke, drinking, obviously, beer. As you're doing that, your guts hanging over. Your guts hanging over. I'm guessing that if you do trim down below, and here's the thing now, for any tips that might be needed, it's important. It's important to trim down below. It's important. It looks better. And it makes one look bigger at the end of the day. The less bush, the bigger the tree looks. So just so you know, Scott, but my thing is that maybe, just maybe, you can't see it down there. You can't see it because it's flopping over a little bit. And then a poor woman that you harass into giving up ass, she's probably just disgusted by you. And if she's not disgusted by that, she may be disgusted by those horrible bug eyes that you've got. And if she's not disgusted by that, she might be disgusted by that hump that you got in your back of cellulite or bone, or all the corruption that you've had in your life that's just gathered in the back of your back. Just saying. Just throw that out there. Yeah, that's the Brett Johnson show. Anybody that has a problem with language or vulgarity or anything else like that, we do not hold back. Like, for example, that cat right there. That cat right there. Who is that? I don't know the dude's name. I don't. But that dude's interesting to me. Now, why is that dude interesting to me? That dude's interesting to me because, he looks like a big burly dude. That's what he looks like. He looks like a big burly dude. Now, why is that? Why is that big burly dude taking pictures of other people's children's? Because that's what that big burly dude was doing. That's what that big burly dude was doing. This dude right here, let's show it again. That dude right there was taking pictures of people's kids. That's what he was doing. Now look at that guy. Because I got to talk about this in a minute, all right? You guys look at that. Now that guy, I want you to understand, predators they come in all shapes and sizes. They don't all look like Noah Back and Timothy Brown. They don't. They don't all use their position of power to prey upon children. They don't. Most child trafficking, most child rape, molestation comes from family members or those who know the family. This guy is out in public taking pictures of kids. No, not his kids, your kids. That's not uncommon. Now, when you see something like that happen, and this person evidently called this son of a bitch out, when you see something like that happen, do you sit there and go, well, come on, let's just go away. Let's get away from the bad guy. Or do you get really vocal really quick? Evil persists because good people remain silent. Now you call that shit? Oh, whoa. What the hell are you doing, you sack of shit? Why don't you take a picture of this as you're throwing a fist at one? That's what you do. We have to get used to calling things out. We have to get used to doing the right damn thing. We have to get used to understanding that those bad people out there, they are more than happy to speak up and speak out. More than happy. It's the good people that often remain silent. So yeah, you call shit like that out. You point a finger at it. You get loud and vocal real quick. Loud and vocal real quick. Honest Chantel Thomas looks like he has had too many. Looks like he's had too many hot dogs, what she said. I'm like, yeah, he's had too much of something. He's had too much of something. He absolutely has. Let's see what else I got to talk about today. I want to share. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I got an idea. You guys are going to like this. A lot. We'll see how it works out. All right. So, no, we're going to make a phone call. We're going to make a phone call to, let's see. What's this guy's name? John. We're going to make this phone call. John, what's his name? His name is John Yancu Amis. We're going to make a phone call. See if John Yancu Amis picks up the phone. Now, who's John Yancu Amis? John Yancu Amis is that dude that got that there was this missing 17-year-old girl. John's not 17. John's much older than that. There's a missing child. And John is found in the bed with this missing child. Nothing happens. He was charged with like a misdemeanor. So it's a misdemeanor to rape children. Now, I understand that this child is now his girlfriend, which makes it even more disturbing. So I'm going to just call, see if John picks up. Let's put him on speakerphone. We'll see what it says. He may not pick up. We'll see. Maybe he'll go to voicemail. We're happy today. Yeah, we're happy today. We're back at our old form.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
I'm sure he is.
At the tone, please record your message.
I'm sure we will.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, John, this is Brett Johnson of the Brett Johnson Show. We're live right now, and I just thought I'd give you a call. We are inquiring minds. We would like to know about this, this 17-year-old child that was found. She was missing, and she was found in your bed by a law enforcement officer. You got out of the bed, you had to put your clothes on. Now, I'd like to know, and I think everyone else would like to know, what went on there? And we'd like to know, why weren't you charged with any bullshit? So, maybe you can call back in live on the show. Maybe we'll try back later. Anyway, have a not very good day. Bye now. Oh, well, it's not surprising that people anymore won't pick up when Brett Johnson calls them. But it doesn't mean we're going to stop. It does not. We may have to get a burner phone with a 606 area code to call these people so they pick up unawares. At which point we say, yeah, this is Cletus down here at Bob's pool hall, and why are you raping children? We can say something like that and see what their response is. Maybe we'll catch them off guard. Maybe they'll be so stunned by the question that they'll tell us the truth. Yes, I'm a piece of shit. We can only hope. Sheriff Pookie, it's all right, buddy. It's all right. I know we are absolutely going off the handle today, and I apologize for that. Okay? I apologize for that. Okay? Now, time to get, it's time to, we're going to look at the comments, let that cool down a minute because the transition is much more sober. All right? The transition on this is much more sober. So we're going to read some comments, and then we're going to transition over that. Then we're going to close up the show. That's what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. Let's see what we got. Tanya Gay, open up and yell like. Bobby did on, open up, yell like Bobby did on King of the Hill. I want my change purse. As you kick him in the balls. Then ask him what the hell he's doing. There you go. Amber Nicole. Somebody told him you was going to give him a heads up. Laughing my ass off. They probably did. You know, he's been talking about you on that show. I would expect. And Brett Johnson don't hold back. He said your name on at least 2-3 shows now. I would expect he's going to try to call your ass. You need to be aware of that 205 coming in, because that ain't good news for you, John Amos, or John Yancu Amis, John pedophile, child predator, child rapist, Yancu Amis. That ain't good for you. Penny Napier. Brett, you are funny as hell. Thank you, Penny. I appreciate that. All right, Ronald Gross, have the day you deserve. Thank you, too. So, here we go. Here we go. There is, this is from the Perry County Regional Jail. Yeah. Anyone and everyone share this. Our jail here in Perry County has let drugs take another life while in their care. Someone who had been in there for a while, and now his daughter has to bury her dad. This isn't right. As Brett Johnson says, do the right damn thing. Share this. Let people know what's going on here. The corrupt people need to go. The ones letting drugs come into our jail. This picture is a result of the corruption and how those people in power don't give a damn about the people who are not in power. That's what this picture is. That's what this picture is. Make no mistake about that. That's what that picture is. Now, there's people out there today. There are people out there today. I'm going to put that picture back up in a minute. There are people in our society today who say, well, he was a criminal. Well, he got what he deserved. Well, I'm glad he's dead. And those people, a lot of those people embrace that book is what they do. And they claim to be Christians. They claim to love their neighbor, to help their fellow human beings. They claim to be doing God's work. That's what they claim. And I got to tell you that as far as I can see, are we back? We lost the picture there for a second. We lost the picture. Are we back? Let me know if we're back or not, because I lost my feed. So let me know if we're still coming through. All right, and we can continue in just a second. All right, I'm gonna take a drink here, take a bite, and then we're going to continue what I was saying. So please let me know if we're coming through. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Let me know if we're still coming through. All right. It's Rob Jones. Good morning, Brett. If you're looking for the truth in Perry County, just follow Brett Johnson's voice, because he will let the truth be known. Keep on rolling. Hazard and Perry are listening. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, you wish. Blurry on my end. Frozen but back up. It should be coming back up all the way. So it looks like we're good on Facebook. Romans 13:10 from Pite Tussey. There is no one righteous, not even one. You need to understand that. That's true. There's no respecter of persons. We are all equal. All flesh is equal when burned. Tanya Gay, there's more drugs in jail than on the street. He's a human being, regardless of what he was. You're 5x5, so we're back on. All right, so I was saying that a lot of people hide behind the veil of Christianity, or the veil of I've never committed a crime, or the veil of, hey, he was a piece of shit. Hey, he was a drug addict. Hey, he deserved it. Hey, he chose to do that. He got what he deserved. A lot of people hide behind that veil. This book, why I talk about this a lot, this book is all about forgiveness. This book is all about understanding. To me, it's all about right now. It's people can change. People can become better human beings. Look at Paul. Look at any number of people through the Bible. People can become better human beings. We live in a society where a lot of people, they don't accept that. They don't believe that. They don't want to believe that. They put themselves, they make themselves feel better by making other people feel small. That's what happens. That's what happens. That someone was in jail, that someone committed a crime, that someone was addicted to a substance, that someone did bad, does not mean that they'll continue to do bad. It doesn't mean that. It means that there's hope that they can change. It means that when someone is in jail, you may hate what they did, but don't hate the person. That's what it means. That's what it means. The jail is there to make sure, it's there for a few purposes, all right? Prison, jail, whatever you want to call it. You're there to begin with so that you can't cause any more harm to the community. So you can't victimize anybody else. So you can't victimize your family. So you can't take advantage of people anymore. That's why you're there. That's why you're there. You've done some bullshit and you need to be locked up for a minute. All right, that's why you're there. It's got other benefits to it. You're there, you're addicted. Guess what? You're going to have an opportunity to dry out, to get sober. That's a plus. You're going to have some opportunity to think about things, if you will. If you'll take the time, instead of blaming everyone else for where you are in your life, if you'll take the time to think about things, maybe it'll benefit you some. Gives you time to cool off. There's a lot of benefits there, a lot of benefits. The jail, the prison, that inmate is under their protection, period. That inmate is under their protection. Now, that often doesn't work out. It doesn't. But I'm going to tell you that for an inmate to overdose on drugs at that county jail is unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. I don't give a shit if Leanne Cheney, whatever the hell she's doing, I don't give a damn about what she's doing. I don't give a damn about Brewer, whoever else is in there. It's their damn job to protect those inmates. It's their damn job to make sure that the worker inmates, those who are going out on work release, whatever the hell's going on, it's their damn job to make sure those fucking inmates don't bring in any substances. What, are you scared? I'm going to tell you right now, I've been through that. Went through Oklahoma City. I went through every prison I went through. All right, went through that shit. You strip off naked, raise your nut sack up, turn around, bend over, spread your ass cheeks, cough. All right, Perry County Jail too embarrassed to do that? If you are, get hot dog down a hallway, Scott Blair, to come and ask him to do that. I'm sure he'd be more than willing to. And maybe earn some of that money that Scott Alexander is paying his ass after he hired him to work in the back of the courthouse after the dude was convicted for preying upon the people he was supposed to be protecting and serving justice to. I'm sure Scott Blair would be more than happy to do that. Hell, you probably wouldn't have to pay him $50 an hour. He might pay you. Just say it. Now we got, and this is not the first time. Now we got this. We got a dead man, a dead father. I don't care if he had trouble with drugs in his past. What I care about is that the man died in jail, in a jail that's supposed to help him dry out. in jail that's supposed to help see justice served, supposed to help the community, and that community involves him. He's part of that community. I hear these horror stories about Perry County Jail, how dirty it is, how corrupt it is, all the bad shit that's going on there. And then you see this pop up. And he's not the only one. He is not the only one. You see this pop up. And you know at that point that a lot of those stories are true. You know that. People who are in prison or jail, yeah, more than likely they deserve to be there. They do. But they are still members of the community. They are still addressed in that book that says, love thy neighbor as thyself and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That applies as much to the person behind bars as it does to the person in the pulpit. It applies the same. It applies the same. Damn anyone who would sit there and say, well, he was a criminal. He can't change his life. Damn anyone who would say he deserves what he got. Earth is better off without him. Damn you say that when you don't know if the man's changed his life, if he's trying to do better, if he was trying to overcome things. When you've not walked in somebody's shoes, when you don't know their story and you don't give a flying fuck enough to find out, damn you. Got a dead man there, a father. You think his daughter gives a damn about you people out there that may be saying that he deserves it? She doesn't. She cares about her dad. That's who she cares about. And she doesn't understand why people would not care. And we as a community, we shouldn't understand that either, why people don't care. We shouldn't understand why some people don't believe others can change. Why some people just keep throwing the past up at them and refuse to see any good that may be done. Something really wrong with that. Something really wrong with that. You know? You want to know what your society is, how good of a society or a population you have. You can look at how that society treats those who are incarcerated. You can look and understand how good of a people you are by how that society treats the people who they incarcerate. That's what you can do. And that's your answer right there. Now, unfortunately, that is not a rare event through many jails, not only in Kentucky, but throughout the United States. That's not a rare thing. You know, a lot of jail staff, they don't give a damn. Some jail staff, they'll bring the drugs in. You know, if you're in federal, and I was in federal, if you're in federal, it's not really, illegal drugs. It's tobacco, because tobacco is outlawed. It's against the law on federal property. That includes federal prisons. And because of that, tobacco in prisons, it reaches a high level value. Cigarette sells for $7. A carton sells for $800 to $1,000. So who brings that shit in? Guards do. And they make a lot of money doing that. And a lot of illegal stuff goes on the compound because of that. And then that guard gets indicted because of that, because you can't keep that shit secret forever. The case of this poor man who overdosed, obviously, Drugs were brought in, and obviously the guards were not doing their job. They didn't want to look at some man's asshole, or they didn't want to search him. I go on. Or they knew what was coming on, because a lot of guards do. They knew what was being brought in. I don't give a damn. You guys have some fun. Does this look like fun? That does not look like fun at all to me. And I don't think it looks like fun to him or his family members, or people love the man, because you can bet your ass he was loved. You bet your ass he was. You want to know why we do the things we do? It's because of stuff like that. It's because of stuff like Noah Back. It's because of stuff like Scott Blair. That's why we do what we do. That's exactly why we do what we do on this show. So, yeah. So Lonnie Brewer doesn't work there anymore. I didn't think he did. I just said Brewer. So thank you. This man was loved. This is the man they're talking about who died. Hubble was a good friend to me. He was a friend to people. He was a father. Donna, I was bad. I was forgiven. We've got to forgive others just as God forgave me. It's going forward from that day that matters. Addiction. Brenda Hayes, Hubble was still a good person. Yeah. Just because somebody does something bad, the action does not define the person. There's still, and this is true. There is still hope for everyone in jail. There's hope for everyone out there. It's a choice to seek out help. It's a choice to change your life. It's a choice to be Scott Blair and look at somebody, man, humming. You looking good. You looking real good. Say, how about I don't prosecute you, and you prosecute me? Got any meth? It's a choice to do that. It's a choice. You can choose not to, or you can choose to cause harm. And if you are causing harm to yourself or others, you can choose any time to change that. Brett, I really need me one of those Powerpuff hats you sport. I like that. I'm telling you, Buttercup now. Anna Chantel. Sad reality is I've witnessed family try to do better, but when society has already labeled them and constantly putting them down, they go back to old habits because they've said, why should they do better than when nobody gives them credit? People should learn to give grace in those situations, especially when someone is trying to better their life. So I do have something to say about that. You cannot, well, you can. Let me know. You can sit there. If you're a criminal, you're an addict, you're poor, your family's against you, whatever's going on, you can sit there and you can wallow in self-pity. You can do that. And it's comforting. It is. There's comfort to be found in that. You know, poor me. What? I don't deserve this. Everyone's against me. Poor me. You can do that. You can. Or you can get off your ass and you do something about it. Your value as a human being does not come from the way other people view you. It does not come from the way what other people say. Your value as a human being comes from inside. That's where it comes from. I don't give a damn what someone thinks about me. And neither should you. You shouldn't care. All right. Now that doesn't mean not to listen to people, not to get feedback from people, not to integrate that into your life, the healthy feedback. You know, where am I going wrong? What do I need to do? What's going on? And then integrate that if you choose to do that. But it's a choice. It's a choice. You know, we as a society, you know, if you see somebody that literally is trying to do better, why wouldn't you want them to do better? Why wouldn't you, give a doff of the hat to? Hey, you doing all right. You know, you used to be You used to be a straight piece of shit. I'm going to tell you something, boy. You come a long way. You must take one of them Calgon baths. You know, you come a long way. Or that cigarette thing, whatever that damn commercial was, you come a long way, baby. You come a long way. You keep on going. Why aren't we doing that as a society? Some people do. A lot of us don't. A lot of us don't. A man, his family who loved him. It could have been prevented. You're damn right. It could have been prevented. Having a staff that actually does their damn job. This is true too. Most addicts don't want to be addicts. But I will tell you, you can't force that addict into recovery. You can't force them to not change. They got to hit that point where they understand, for me, I need to change. They got to hit that point. Yeah, Scott Blair was putting people in jail for doing dope when he was doing the same damn thing and worse than they were. So there you go. Francis, nope, I already called dibs on that hat. I got to bring her. I come to Hazard last this month. I guess I'll bring her a Powerpuff Girls hat. Let her have that. Ronald Gross. Yes, some of us do, and I have 3 years clean now. 3 years clean. And man, more power to you. More power to you. Doing a damn good job, man. So yeah, a staff that actually cares. That's what we're talking about. I've run over. I have, as I often do. Guys, none of us are perfect. The point is that we strive to do better. We strive to be better people than we were the day before. That's what we strive to do. Sometimes we even succeed at it. But it's making sure we're keeping our eyes on the prize, that we're continuing to move forward, even though we and other people should understand there's going to be backsliding. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be bad things happen. But as long as we understand that we're moving forward is what matters. That's what matters. You know, we have to get back to, if we were ever there, of loving our neighbors, of taking care of our neighbors, protecting our children, protecting society, doing the right damn thing, of looking inward at ourselves and changing the things that we don't like about ourselves, having the courage to look inward and say, man, I'm really fucked up. I am really fucked up. I'm a piece of shit. I got to do something. And having the courage to understand, hey, maybe that family that I caused so much damage to, maybe there's a reason that they don't talk to me anymore. And maybe I understand why they never will again. That takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage. But it's well worth it. It's well worth it. You know, who you used to be and the things you used to do does not define who you are now and the things you will do. But it should be something that you learn from. It should be something you learn from. My name is Brett Johnson. This is the Brett Johnson Show. And I like to think this is a pretty damn good show. All right. That's what I like to think. So I want Mary Combs. I think that's going to be the last comment. Mary Combs. There's always someone who has never been an addict who's going to put down the ones who struggle with temptation. Jesus said, I guess he handed somebody a rock. And he said, you know, for those who have not committed a sin, by all means, you throw the first one. And I guess maybe that crowd was more aware at that point in time, or maybe it was just a story. But I guess maybe that crowd was very aware of themselves, and nobody threw any stones. All of us have temptation. all of us use the tool set that we have been given or that we have grown up with to handle the problems, relationships, and events in our lives. All of us. Some of us reach outside of that normal toolbox that we have, and we're either forced to get a new tool set or we learn a new tool set on how to handle those problems, relationships, and events in our lives. I would say that is well worth it. I would say that, if you're experiencing trouble in your life and that trouble just keeps coming, that it might behoove you to find some new tools. And guess what? Internet's free. Well, except for, internet access. Hell, you can go to a hotspot if you want to. Internet's free. 87% of the population has one of these things, a cell phone, so you can access the internet. And you can start getting some tools for free that helps you handle those problems, relationships, and events that are going on in your life. You can reach out to people. Even if your family's disowned you, even if your friends and family members and associates no longer talk to you or have anything to do with you, there are groups that you can search on the internet that can help. That can help you get that new tool set. Choice. It all begins with a choice. Are you choosing to try to do better, or are you choosing to continue down that path of destruction that you've been on? Choice. Nobody can force that. There's going to be a lot of fakery. Oh yeah, I changed my mind. I'm good to go. I'll never do that shit again. Yeah, you will. You will, because you're lying. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to your family, friends, and associates, and you've lied to them so long they ain't having nothing to do with you anymore. But you got to get there. You got to, that point's going to come. That point's going to come where you're going to say to yourself, do I blame everyone else for everything that's going on? Or do I take accountability and reach out and want to do better? That's what matters. It's that point is what matters. So, my name is Brett Johnson. It's Brett Johnson Show. We use language. We use vulgarity. We absolutely use puppets to talk about fucking men in the ass. We absolutely do all of that stuff. And we are absolutely going to continue to do more of that and more of that and more of that. Because the message that we are having, what we're talking about, is important. It means something. And sometimes it takes puppets. Sometimes it takes a son of a bitch up here cussing to get that message across, to shine some light. Sometimes we, as a group, join together and we do this kind of thing. And that is not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Like it or not, that's a good thing. So consider that the next time you have problems with vulgarity or puppets, or you're painting someone in a county jail as a bad person. They chose to overdose. Consider all the things we're talking about today. Consider that son of a bitch that's sitting in public. Consider that son of a bitch that's sitting in public. This guy that's taking pictures of children. And then look at yourself and say, I have a problem with the Brett Johnson Show having some language or talking about these people that are doing this bullshit. Consider that. And then invite yourself, if you still have a problem, invite yourself not to tune in any goddamn more. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to say it. Invite yourself not to tune in any fucking more. A little emotional today. And I apologize for that. It's the first time I've said that word since I promised on the show I wasn't going to, and I apologize for that. I truly do. None of us are perfect. I just called the devil by a customer at the Jeff Mart because I was listening to the show. I just got called the devil by a person at Jeff Mart. I'm going to tell you, the devil ain't in what we're talking about today. Not in shining a light about it. The devil's in these people that are doing it. That's the devil. The devil is in these people who's having a problem with us telling the truth. With us talking about a man who overdosed at the county jail and how the guards should have been doing their damn job. With us talking about Scott Alexander being corrupt. With us talking about Scott Blair using his position to extort sex and drugs off of people he was supposed to be serving justice to, protecting those people as well. That's where the devil of this stuff is. The devil is in Noah Back and Joe Engel protecting a child predator instead of making sure that a 16-year-old child, Emmeline Clark, got some justice, her and her family. That's the devil of things. Devil's not the devil is not in what we are doing today. It is absolutely not. My name is Brett Johnson. This is the Brett Johnson Show. We are expanding this show to handle the rest of Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky. And then we're going to keep expanding it from there. I will always be doing a show about Perry County, Kentucky, because that is my home. These are my people. This is my family. This is where my heart belongs. And I love you guys. I will always be doing a show about Perry County, but we will be expanding into other shows and trying to get some justice and doing the right damn thing and talking about being better people and talking about child predators and being better parents and protecting and guiding and steering our children. We're going to continue to do that. We are Eastern Kentucky. We are a proud people. We are a humble people. We stand tall. We believe in doing the right thing. We have had enough. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love you all. I truly do. what we're doing here is a really good thing. Understand that. What we're doing here is a really good thing. And it's been a really good thing all the way through. All the way through. And it's going to continue to be a really good thing all the way through. We are a team. We are a movement. We are good people, even though sometimes we don't do good things. We are a good people. Until tomorrow, until tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central, well, 8-ish a.m. Central, my name is Brett Johnson, and this little guy is a blessing. This is Pookie. Until tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central, I'm Brett Johnson. Love you guys. Pookie loves you guys. Just do the right damn thing. Take care.